Hey guys, if you're shopping for knives and gear, make sure you check out the description of the video you're watching right now for links to some great online retailers. There's also individual links for knives that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I want to share with you guys my top 10 list of the very best knives of 2020. This is not a list of my favorite knives of all time. It's just out of the knives that I have reviewed that were actually 2020 releases this year. These are my top 10 favorites, and I will be doing a end of the year sort of awards thing that lots of different knife related YouTube channels do. There's obviously lots of different perspectives on this stuff. This is just my opinion, right? But you should definitely go around and check to hear what everybody who does this, everybody has to say. I have uploaded an enormous amount of content this year, and actually for a while now. If you don't know, I upload twice a day on this channel, anywhere from knife reviews, knife unboxings, discussion topics, little things like that. At the end of the year, I will have uploaded approximately 728 videos, considering there's 52 weeks in a year. And of those 728 uploads, I will have reviewed, considering I review about 5 knives a week, around 260 knives. Not all of those knives were from 2020, but a lot of them were. This is a list of my favorites. I have done full comprehensive reviews on everything on this list except for one, which you guys haven't seen yet, but the review is finished and you guys will see it soon, so you can check out most of these reviews on my channel if you want to. I will also list down below, I'll give links for these knives that are still available right now. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I'll list them if I'm able to. Please follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, this list is based on, you know, knives of different values, right? It's everything all together, right? How well it was made, the price, right? The utility, you know, a whole bunch of different things that I go over in each of my reviews. So that's what this list consists of. If I didn't mention, there's actually 11. I cheated. I'll explain why. Starting off here with the first one on the list, these are in no particular order, the Spyderco Canis. This was an absolute shocker to me. This is such a weird looking knife, and I looked at it and I was like, ugh, Spyderco, I love you guys, and I've come to accept your weirdness. I've come to just accept that your knives are substantially more ergonomic than they are beautiful, and that's why I like them. But this, boy, what is going on? And then once again, I handled it like many other Spydercos, and I thought, yeah, this is awesome. Super, incredibly smooth. Love the compression lock. The ergonomic lines, of course, are incredible. The edge geometry is great. The blade profile actually makes a lot of sense, even though, you know, in terms of utility, this blade was, you know, it was more of a self-defense oriented knife, but, you know, in terms of utility, this thing's great. Taichung Taiwan made, so excellent manufacturing quality. Great materials, a little bit on the pricey side, but, you know, as far as everything that Spyderco released, you know, and just everything that was released in general in 2020 that I actually handled, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff probably left off this list because, again, even uploading 728 times in a year, I just don't have the ability to handle everything. This is definitely something that deserves a spot on the top 10 list. Absolutely. Moving on here, you guys have not seen this one yet. The Savivi Ortis. Holy crap. Now, I've handled both the FRN version, which is what you're seeing here, and the carbon fiber and Damascus version. The FRN version comes in at about $40, and honestly, you know, despite my bias against FRN, I really can't complain about it in this price range. The handle profile, the blade profile, the ease of manipulation, this is such a straightforward, wonderful tool. In a lot of ways, it's really much of the same thing that we see from Savivi and nothing special in terms of what we've seen in the knife world forever. But as far as nothing special goes, this is nothing special perfected. This is one of the most straightforward, just nearly flawless budget knives that has ever existed, right? The FRN is going to make it nice and lightweight, and if you're like me and you can't stand FRN, you can spend about double the money, but you'll end up with carbon fiber and Damascus, which looks fantastic. You guys will be seeing this soon. Easy to do the reverse flick, easy to flip, right? Everything you expect from Savivi. This is definitely one of Savivi's best knives, and definitely, in my opinion, one of the best knives that was released in 2020. By the way, I have confirmed all of these except for a couple as far as 2020. Some of these blur the lines. If I'm wrong about any of this, right, you guys feel free to let me know. We can chat about it down in the description, in the comments section. These are still available, by the way. Moving on here. Here's the one that was just on the line. This is the CJRB feldspar. It was announced. I actually got this information directly from Artisan Cutlery, the partner or parent company with CGRB. This is a budget knife, still available right now. These come in at, what, 40 bucks, something like that? Wide variety of different handle materials. I love this thing. When I unboxed this and reviewed it, I said this is one of the best budget knives that has ever existed, and I still think that. And basically, this was announced in late 2019. The first ones, as confirmed by Artisan Cutlery, the first ones hit shelves for people to readily buy, right? Not people doing whatever, secret deals with retailers. No, I mean, the vast majority of the population ready to purchase hit shelves in early 2020. So I'm going to put it on the list. If I'm cheating a little bit, whatever, it's going to be on the list. Yeah, this thing is really good. One of the only complaints that I had with it, beyond that, it uses T6 screws. Okay, the pocket clip, it's not my favorite thing in the world. The rest of it, God, this thing is excellent. Really, really good. Definitely one of my favorite knives of 2020 and one of the best budget knives of all time. Moving on here, yeah, I have to put this one on the list, the Wii Banter. This has been described by many different channels, and I agree with them. It's been described as like the everyman's knife. This is a Wii knife, but it's kind of, as is Artisan Cutlery is to CJRB, Wii is to Savivi, right? But Wii does this thing where they make some knives kind of in between Savivi price and quality and Wii price and quality, and that's where this knife falls. This is S35VN, G10, and steel liners. Again, nothing ultra special in terms of what we've seen out there for these style of knives, but it's just such a friendly, such a knife that is so easily recommendable for everybody, and it's a great example of a good quality knife without having to, push somebody into that really high price range, right? A lot of people are really comfortable. A lot of people who are new to folding knives are very comfortable around the $30 to $50 mark. It takes, you really kind of, the more you creep up to $100, but this is that kind of jumping off point, or that point that people can get to where it's like, look, if you're going to put this much money into a knife, this is what you can get, and it's going to be straightforward, it's going to be performance oriented, it's going to be easy to manipulate, it's going to be easy in the pocket, very ergonomic, right? Ben Peterson did an excellent job with this, and while this doesn't speak to, the knife enthusiast, the guy who's looking for all the sparkly, zazzy details that come with a modern knife, God, it's good. As far as a straightforward tool goes, yeah, it's really good. Definitely deserving a spot on the best knives of 2020. Some of us, I think, some of us reviewers are going to put this knife on the list, and other ones are going to go, no, it's too boring, It just depends on perspective, right? And their reasoning for placing something on the list. I know I'm being vague about this. I'm not explaining my parameters. More will be explained at the end of, at the end of December when I do the awards. The Metal Complex Awards ceremony, or, oh yeah, real spectacular thing, right? No, I'll explain it more then, right? But definitely deserving of a spot on the list. Moving on here, yeah, QSP Penguin. As far as excellent budget knives go, this has been such a freaking huge year for excellent budget knives. Just insane. We've had more excellent budget knives come out in 2020 than the knife world has ever seen. It's just insane, right? So it's really hard to pick, but the QSP Penguin, oh God, what is this? 30 bucks? D2, excellent blade profile. This is the best, just go out and do whatever it is that you're doing, right? If you want to EDC this, great, right? It's really not that intense looking of a pocket knife. It's not big. It's not scary. It's pretty straightforward. But if you're, so if you're office carrying it, or if you're doing little home projects, working outside, wherever it is, I love the blade profile. That straight Wharncliffe style blade is really good for this. Very, very smooth. D2 steel. It looks excellent. The micarta looks great. There's a couple different versions out there. Some of them get a little more expensive. I'm aware of the one that you can get that's an S35VN for a little more money. But geez, man, this is so good. Again, nothing special. It's like a couple other knives on this list. It's like nothing special perfected and made into something special, ironically, because of that. This is great. This is a great knife. Couple of little nitpicks, right? A lot of T6 screws. Boy, other than that, not much to complain about here. Definitely one of the best knives that was released in 2020. If I'm not mistaken, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Moving on here, one that a lot of people may agree with me on and other people won't. This is the Les Georges VECP version 3 Flipper. That's just a variation of a knife that was released a long time ago. Yeah, it is. But it technically, I'm going to call it a different knife, right? We have different texture patterns. We have a little bit different jimping, right? Same handle profile, same knife, but it's got a flipper tab and it's running on bearings. I owned the original and I owned this one, and I, considering the original, well, not the original, the version 3 that was released some time ago is running on phosphor bronze and using a different steel, right? In a lot of ways, this is a different knife. So call it what you will. This was one of my favorite knives of 2020. I'm gonna guess. I have this weird infatuation with the VECP profile from Les George and Les George knives in general. It's kind of like my thing with Hinder knives, right? Not everybody shares that. In fact, I don't think a lot of some of the other reviewers that you guys probably watch, I don't know that a lot of people picked this up and looked at it. I did, and I love this. This is an expensive knife. $425, made in the USA. I loved this thing. I said it in the review, said it in the unboxing. The VECP has made many top 10 and top 20 lists, past versions of it. I've talked about it tons on this channel, and I was so impressed with the flipper version. It's a lot of money, and it's not going to be for everybody, but as of everything that released in 2020 and everything that I handled, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't one of my favorites and wasn't one of the best things that came out in 2020. That's just my opinion. It's on the list. It's going to stay on the list. I'm like, darn it, there's nobody directly opposing me in this moment. I'm just talking into the camera by myself, right? But I'm just like, this is what I think. Yeah, I just really like this knife. This is one of my favorites for 2020. Moving on here, yeah, I don't think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. The Protech Malibu. God, this is a button lock knife, somewhere around 7.5 inches overall. Excellent EDC profile, excellent flipping action. This is very sought after right now, and it's not a knife that is readily available in this moment. I'm going to guess that this is... I've been saying this for a while, and people are like, when are they coming back? I have a feeling that these are going to be very plentiful. I think Protech knows they need to make a lot of these. I don't speak for Protech. I'm just guessing, right? I'm just speculating. None of that is factual. What is factual is that I think, my opinion on this thing is that it is one of the best knives of 2020. This is wildly excellent. Right now they have the Wharncliffe and Reverse Tanto. I had the Reverse Tanto. This is the Wharncliffe. They came out in blue and black. I'm hoping and guessing we'll see more blade shapes and different colors in the future. This is excellent. 20 CV and hardcoat anodized 6061 T6 aluminum. About $190, something like that. USA made. Yeah, really, really good. Moving on here, the CJRB Ria, another budget knife from CJRB. This is a much smaller knife, but every issue that I had with the feldspar, I mean, we're not comparing size. People have different size, preferences, right? The pocket, even the stock pocket, you can get a better pocket clip for this directly from CJRB. You can pay $15 for a titanium clip. The stock pocket clip on this guy is better than any other pocket clip that CJRB has done on their other knives. I would like to see them transition to this pocket clip. I know you can't see it, right? Super minimal hardware. Everything is T8. Wonderful flat ground blade. Contoured scales. You can get this in micarta. The micarta version comes in the new proprietary AR RPM 9 powder form steel through CJRB, which is essentially powder formed 9CR18 MOV. I think the standard form of this is D2. Whatever, it's all great. It's very inexpensive. They start at $35 and they go as high as $60 if you pay for the micarta one with the pocket clip, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Pick your, choose. You've got your preferences. You just choose the one that's best for you. God, this is good. If you like a smaller knife that's easy to manipulate with the thumb studs, runs on bearings, oh God. The liners are shadow boxed and polished, which looks nice with any of the scale colors because they don't have a colored pivot color on this. So you don't have to do that thing where it's like, well, the blue comes with the orange and the green comes with the red. Now you just pick the color you want and it'll contrast well with the satin finished liners underneath. There's very little to complain about with this knife. It's definitely one of the best knives that came out in 2020. CJRB has done a great job this year. Moving on here, the Wii Snacks. I'm not sure if I'm one of the only ones who's going to put this on the list, but but I really like this. This is a collaboration with Snacks and Wii knives, not to be confused with the one that came out between Jake Hoback and Snacks. This was really good. Really good. I don't know why I haven't talked about this knife more. I always have different lists about my favorite knives of all time. Those always consist, you know, in different categories, right? Different price ranges categories, and that consists of knives that have come out from whenever, you know, up to like a decade ago. As far as knives that released in 2020, though, yeah, this was really good. This was a more expensive knife from Wii, somewhere near $300. Titanium, CPM 20 CV, if I'm not mistaken, possibly M390. It's fine. They're analogs to each other. Minimal hardware, excellent flipping action, excellent blade profile. Oh man, all the way around the size of this, the feel of it, really, really good. There's a lot of titanium frame locks that came out from tons of different companies similar to Wii and within Wii knives, right? That you could, you know, say, well, it's the same materials and it also has good action. This knife and the profile and the ergonomics and just the look, the whole presentation of it, right? The standard version or the black one with the bronzed hardware. Oh my gosh, home run. I really, really like this knife. I wish it was still available, right? But as of right now, it isn't. It's not going to stop me from putting it on the list. I know that's frustrating to give, you know, like a best of 2020 to a knife that you can't get. I still have to, I gotta go with my gut here, guys. It just is. It released in 2020, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure. I, you know, tried to look into exactly when these hit shelves, right? 2020. Gosh, I really like this knife. Really, really like this knife. Absolutely. Moving on here. Another one from CIVI. One that really caught me off guard. This is the CIVI Orion, Ferrum Forge and CIVI collaboration, which I didn't honestly see coming, you know, especially in this size, but it happened, and it's really great. This is a very small knife that has a very Ferrum Forge-y look about it. You can always pick Ferrum Forge knives out of a bunch. Very ergonomic in the standard position, even though you can't get a full grip on it, but you can get a full four-finger grip position if you utilize the oversized forward choil, or in my opinion, the properly sized forward choil. Not an enormous amount of cutting edge, but that's fine on a tiny knife anyway. This knife has fidget factor, considering it's, what is this, 6 1/4, 6.5 inches over. It's not very big, right? But you still have enough room in that slot to do the reverse flick, the little spidey drop. You can flip it, you can thumb it open, you can pinch it open. So easy. If I'm not mistaken, is it D2? And it's either D2 or 9CR18 MOV. It doesn't matter. I'll take either. G10, heavily chamfered, almost contoured. It's very similar to what they do with the Shaman, right? God, this was good. Another, you know, just good liner lock from Savivi, but it's small. And it's going to solve that legal issue for a lot of people. And it's very easy to manipulate and has fidget factor, which is not something that you can easily find in such a small knife. Couple that with the fact that it's not expensive. I think this is less than 50 bucks. Yeah, this is a winner. Ferrum Forge has made a lot of stuff that I have put in a lot of top 10 lists and would consider best by certain years, right? This is one for 2020. I really, really liked this knife. Absolutely. And last but not least, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is in the lead for the best knife overall of 2020, at least on my channel, by a long shot. I had a feeling I would like this knife. I just didn't know how much I would like it until I handled one. And you can go watch the review on this if you want to. This is the Andrew Demco MG80. The MG being the machine ground or production variation of this knife. This is an American-made knife, very expensive, coming in at $425 or $625 in full titanium, or $800 and something in the custom version, and probably more in the full Thai custom version. Anyways, the production version is the one that I'm putting on the list. Mega robust. Fidget factor supreme on this guy. The shark lock on the back there is a spring-loaded little lever thing that you pull back and the blade will fall or whip closed. You can whip it open, you can reverse flick it, you can thumb it out, you can spidey drop it, right? Oh, fidgeter's dream, and it makes all sorts of clicks and clacks and just interesting noises, right? Now that's on the side, you know, where that part of me that just enjoys all those little intricate elements, right? But on top of that, it is a ridiculously functional and ergonomic tool. One of the only downsides to this thing is the size and weight of it. It's freaking huge. The G10 version comes in a little over 6 ounces, and it's, what is it, 8.5, 8.75 inches overall? It's big, it's heavy, it's chunky, but I like that, right? The shark lock is completely and totally unique, and it adds fidget factor where it didn't used to be with a lot of Demco designs. and cold steel designs that utilize some of Demco's locking systems, right? They had the Scorpion lock, which was a little easier to manipulate than the Triad lock that he invented, right? Triad lock's good. It's just a little sluggish. Takes a little bit to engage and disengage versus locks like the Scorpion lock and especially like this Shark lock. This thing is so easy to manipulate with one hand. It's a breeze. It's comfortable, right? And it's fun. I mean, when you're not actually out using it like the tool it was designed to be used as, you can sit around on the couch and play with this thing, right? If you are able to get your hands on one, which is very difficult. And even if you could, it's a lot of money, right? But it's US made. Yeah, this is in the lead by a long shot. I mean, it's early November, right? So we still have roughly a month before I, do the final video, but oh my gosh. I'm more excited about this than I have been just about anything for a long time. I'm sure you guys are wondering, you didn't put a Hinder on this list? Hinder didn't really come out with any new knives this year. They came out with a lot of variations of blade shape and exclusives and stuff like that, right? I love Hinder knives, and I'll keep buying them, but yeah, that's why we didn't see any Hinders on the list. It's just not really a new model that was my favorite that released in 2020. The Emmett was really, really good, but I'm a folding knife channel, and the knives that are going to make my list are really, it's going to be folding knives unless something truly spectacular were to come out in the fixed blade department, but it didn't. The Emmett was really, really good. I liked it. Just not quite want to make the list. But anyways, to get back onto Andrew Demco knives, and by the way, I'm showing the DLT link here is because I have an affiliate program with them, and if you are waiting to get your hands on an 8020, you can actually go down into my description, click, shop DLT trading, go in there and find the Demco 8020 and sign up for email notifications, or just sign up for email notifications in general, and they should list it, I think, when and if it comes back in stock soon, right? I believe more of these are coming. I don't know that for a fact. I have no idea where they're all going to land, but I know that DLT has carried them in the past, so that would be a good place to start. Anyways, I hope that this was mildly entertaining. I hope it was satisfying. This list is subject to change in the next month a little bit, and the entire, the final video that I do will be, it'll be different, because there'll be different. I'll give like best this in this category, best this in this category when we do the video in late December. But anyways, this was fun to do. Hope you guys found this entertaining. If you did, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.